welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a first impression of the new Backstage face and body powder from Dior. These recently launched on the Harrods website, so I went ahead and picked them up. I picked up two shades. I picked up the shade 4 Neutral and 3 Neutral because I kind of didn't really know what shade I was going to be in. And this is the box that it came in, and we're going to play with them. I'm going to get into all the details. Of course, with powders, it takes more than one day. But I wanted to show you guys, if you were curious about these, I wanted to come on camera, give you kind of the 411 on them and the details on them so that you kind of knew what they are. When you're testing out powders, it takes a while to wear them with different foundations and really fall in love with it. For me, I can't fall in love with it after wearing it 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 times. Like, I need to wear it for a week or two to really get used to the formula and see if I can truly recommend it. So I figured I might as well pick them up, try them out, let you guys know the 411 on these, because these are not a traditional finishing powder. These are a much more creamier type of formula. So let's go ahead and get into the details on these. They also come in 10 different shades, which I really like that they come in that many shades. It's pretty awesome that they do have a wide variety of shades. This is what it says on the Harrods website. It says, whether you're perfecting your all-natural, no makeup look or looking to set your foundation, reach for your Dior Backstage face and body powder, no powder, which it's kind of like, it's a no powder powder, okay? For a naturally matte look. Instantly blur imperfections for a smoother and more even complexion. The translucent powder glides effortlessly over your skin to a flawless finish. Okay. So that's the deets on these. Let's go ahead and jump into the application of this powder. Now, I will be doing a full day wear test on this because I am kind of testing out a new foundation, which is the new one from Dior. I'm testing this right now. Today is my 3rd day, I think, wearing it. This is the Forever Natural Nude foundation. So I will be uploading that review this week, so be on the look for that. I will be doing kind of a wear test so that you guys can see how this wears and how it performs, and if it does control oils or shine or anything like that. So I do have a lot to say on it just based on using it one time, but I will definitely get into all of that in my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and jump into the applications, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. Okay, let's jump into this new powder from Dior. So this is 3 Neutral and this is 4 Neutral. You can kind of see that there is a difference in color. Now, I also want to mention my hands. I had to mention in all the videos that I'm filming today. I am testing out a bunch of new self-tanners. And so if you guys have already heard this, I apologize. But I got to say it in each video because I don't, I want to make sure everybody in every video knows, because I'm kind of filming a bunch of videos today. However, so with all that said, my hands, I've been testing out a bunch of different self-tanners for a video that's coming up probably at the end of the month. And so I've been testing all these different brands and kind of taking notes, and I've been kind of having some mishaps. This is not the first time I've come on camera with kind of weird self-tan hands, but it's for review purposes. All right, let's move back into the powder. Okay, I think 3 Neutral might be better for me right now. Maybe 4 Neutral in the summertime. And it's hard to swatch it because it really doesn't have a lot of color. It's a very soft kind of, very smooth powder. It's not dry at all. So it's not like your traditional setting powder. It's a very smooth type powder, which kind of reminds me of the recent one from Becca. It's not like a dry finishing powder like this from Charlotte Tilbury. This has more of a softer, more smooth type texture to it. So let me see if I can swatch it for you so you guys can see the difference between 3 Neutral and 4 Neutral. I'm really glad I bought 2 shades. So this is 4 Neutral and this is 3 Neutral. And I kind of feel like 3 Neutral might be the best. Like, as I start blending it out, the 4 Neutral might be too dark. So the last thing I want to do is have my powder too dark, I'm going to take the Sonia G Smooth Buffer brush. It's one of my favorite brushes to use a product like this. And I'm going to go into 3 Neutral. And let's just go for it. I'm going to start up here on the forehead. Oh, did you see that? Like, this is a very like smooth. Okay, where's my mirror? it calmed down the shine, but you can't see it on the skin. That is very interesting. Okay, let's go around the chin. Okay, right away I can tell that this made my chin very makeup-y. Can you guys see how it made this part makeup-y? Maybe once I spray some setting spray, maybe it will kind of melt it into the skin. I'm not sure. I don't know. It kind of turned this gray too. So I don't know that I love the way this looks. The forehead looks okay, but it's right here that I don't really love. Let's just go ahead and spray and see what it does. Okay, I will say once I set my skin, this kind of went away where it's not so makeup-y. You can see where it's not as heavy looking in that area as it was when I first went on with the powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smaller brush. I'm going to use this brush. This is the Sonia G Mini Cheek. I am going to kind of just place that like right here in this area with just a different brush to see how this wears under my eyes. It seems like with this powder, whatever shade you're going to be in their foundation range, you might want to go a shade lighter. I have a hard time finding my right shade in Dior foundation. I'm not going to lie. I should be in the 400s. I haven't found that right shade with the right undertone. So I normally mix 3 warm and 4 neutral together, and I get a pretty, that's what I'm wearing now from those 2 shades in this foundation right here. So, but I would say my skin is probably in the 4s, the 400 range. The 4s, I guess, is what they're calling it now. They're not doing 400 anymore. But, so I think if you are, you know, if you're in the 4s, I would do the 3s. If you're in the 3s, I would go back 1 personally. Because it is a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be. The powder is. But it doesn't really apply on the skin all that dark. But I just don't know how I feel about this. Like I said, I've worn this foundation. Today is my 3rd day. And the only thing that is bothering me is that this kind of turned a little bit ashy in this area. And it could be because this is a neutral tone. So it is more neutral. And sometimes when you apply something that's more neutral, you know, on warm skin, it can turn a little ashy. I've also noticed that with Dior's neutral tones, they're a little bit on the gray side. So keep that in mind. I will also add to that the new Kosas, which I don't know which video is going to go up before this, but the new Kosas, which is the Comfy Cloud Set Powder. This one is kind of something similar to this from Dior, where it's very, very soft. This one is pretty much translucent. When you apply it, you really can't see it. But it kind of does the same thing. It's more of like a baked powder where it's a little bit more softer of a formula than the Charlotte Tilbury. I kind of feel like I get better results from this Kosas formula than I have with this Dior one. I don't know. I don't know that I'm loving this right now. I think it's a pretty powder because it is so lightweight. And it is very, very smooth in texture. You can kind of almost see that it has somewhat of a shine. It's just a very, very smooth formula where it's not drying at all. If you look at it on my finger, it's almost a little gray. So I don't know. It could be the tone of it. I don't think I have a problem with the powder so much. I think it's the shade of the powder that is kind of throwing me off. But that's it for the application. I will see you guys in my next check-in. Okay, so I am here doing a midday check-in. I have my earbuds in. I need to take them out. I was actually listening to, I'm all into like crime TV and all of that. So I was just listening to Kendall Rae's recent upload, and I just live for stuff like that. She's got a great channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend. If you're into crime and missing persons and all of that, definitely check out Kendall Rae's channel. So it is currently 5:20. As you can see, the powder does look really beautiful all over the face, except for right there around the chin area. So as you can see, it did make this foundation get a little bit cakey in this area. And this foundation has never, the foundation I'm wearing, which is the Nude foundation from Dior, it has never looked like that. As soon as I applied it, I knew right away that that the powder had kind of made this area look a little cakey. And even after I sprayed it, the setting spray, it still kind of continued to do that. So I really like it, but I do think that there is kind of an issue in that area. Not sure, you know, how it will wear throughout the day, but it has been on for about 5 hours now. So I thought it might have been settled into my skin by now, but it does look really beautiful over everything else. It's a very, very soft powder. And again, this is just a first impression, just kind of giving you my thoughts on it. I have worn the foundation that I'm wearing for 2 days. Today's my 3rd day. So I kind of know how the foundation wears. But so far, that's probably the only thing that I've noticed that I don't really like about the powder. But of course, I will get into my full thoughts on the powder later on in my 12-hour check-in. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a 12-hour check-in on these powders from Dior. So it is currently 12:10 at night, so, or I guess early in the morning, right? So full disclosure, I've been editing for the last like 3 or 4 hours, and I only had 5 hours of sleep. So my eyes were so bloodshot, you guys. They were bad. Like, you would have been exhausted seeing me. Like, you'd have been like, Tara, why are you coming on camera with those bloodshot eyes? They were bad. Fortunately, I have Lumify. I don't know if you guys have ever used Lumify, but it's like magic in a little bottle. So I put some eye drops in and got rid of the redness, and I feel so much better. My eyes don't even feel as dry as they were. Like, they were feeling really dry and scratchy and red, and I was just wanting to tear them out. I am here with bright white eyes 12 hours later on 5 hours of sleep. Let's go ahead and get into the deets about the powder. So let me say this. This is my first impression, and I will continue to use these, and I will include this. So I've been telling you guys for the last couple of videos, I will be doing a review updates video very soon, and I will continue to play with these throughout the rest of the week, and I will share with you guys my thoughts on these in that review update video. If you guys are watching this in the future, I will link that video in the description box down below, so you guys can go ahead and check out my full final thoughts on wearing it after, you know, several days, probably a week or so. Okay, so this powder, in my opinion, is for people who don't really like powder, but want something to just soften the skin. I think if you like a traditional translucent setting powder, like a loose translucent setting powder, or even a traditional finishing powder, I don't know that this is going to cut it. I feel like this is truly designed for those who don't really like a lot of powder, and they like a very soft powder that's very undetectable on the skin. Because I can tell you, I don't feel like this powder controls oils coming through. You can see 12 hours later, I mean, I'm beaming off the lights, and it didn't really set. So I'm going to turn off the ring light. So you can see I've lost the coverage of my foundation all right here. And it, you know, I'm starting to lose coverage of the foundation up in between my brows. And so this doesn't control oils necessarily. So this just kind of gives you a soft blurring effect, but in a very, very subtle way. It's not a dry powder. So a lot of the, you know, translucent setting powders and the finishing powders from Charlotte Tilbury, they're a little bit more of a drier powder. In my opinion, this is not going to be an oil controlling powder. It's not going to be a mattifying powder. It's just going to be a very, very soft powder to just smooth things out, but it's not going to do any, it's not a workhorse powder. So earlier I mentioned that the powder reminded me of this new one from Becca. So this is called the Light Shifter Finishing Vel. And this one got hard panned on me after the first day of using it. I actually discussed that in my recent February favorites and fails. It was a part of my fails because I used it one time after setting. I used it one time after putting on this Light Shifter Dewy Skin Tint from Becca. And somebody had mentioned in the comment section that maybe this was too dewy of a foundation to put this over top of, and that's the reason why it got hard panned, which could very well be the reason why this got hard panned the first time I used it. But I will say this powder from Dior is definitely better than this powder from Becca. I feel like this one actually has something to it, whereas the Becca, I felt like I wasn't applying anything, like it didn't do anything. I am having an issue with this powder making my foundation look cakey on my chin, and I don't know why. I've been wearing the Dior foundation, this is my 3rd day, and it's never looked cakey on my chin. But for some reason, as soon as I apply this over top of my skin, it looks cakey, and I can't figure it out. Here's the thing. I don't think this powder is going to be for everyone. I think this powder is going to be for those who like a very lightweight powder. So if you're somebody that doesn't really like to wear powder, you might really like this. If you're somebody that likes to wear powder and powder's your thing, this is not going to work for you. So you kind of have to decide what you're needing out of it. And I'm curious to see how everybody starts to feel about it. Like I said, I do think this will work for some people, and people will probably really like it. But I think if you're oily skin, don't expect this to control oils. If you're combo, don't expect this to control oils. But I do think it's more dry skin friendly, more normal skin friendly. So that's my thoughts, you guys. Those are all my overall thoughts. Again, I will continue to wear it. And once I'm done testing this foundation, I will wear it with foundations that I wear on a regular basis and see if my opinion changes on it. And then in my review updates, I will kind of update you there and let you know. But I wanted to get the video out so you could kind of understand what this powder is. I hope that this first impression was helpful for you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye.